Welcome to Hometown Salutes. Today I have a very special guest with me. She is the Fayette County Veteran Service Officer, and she is also active in the military. So I welcome Cam Sparks. Welcome.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So I am so excited about this.
Yeah.
So let's get going. So tell us a little bit about yourself, what branch of service you're in, and when did you go in?
Okay. I'm in the Indiana National Guard, Army National Guard. I went in when I was 26 years old, actually. So I didn't go in right after high school. I waited a little bit in life, and then I went in. I joined when my kids were 6 and 3 at the time. So my kids were still really little.
Wow.
I started by going to Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri for military police basic training.
Okay.
So it was one station unit training. So I did my basic training and my advanced individual training all there together at one spot. So I was gone for 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah, I completed that, and it was the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life, but I made it through somehow.
Oh, I'm sure.
So
what brought you to get into the service?
my older brother was in the Air Force when I was growing up.
So you came from a military family?
Yeah, somewhat, yeah. So he joined the Air Force right after high school, and my brother's the one that taught me how to play basketball, play softball, all that good stuff. And he joined the Air Force. Well, he would fly me out to see him wherever he was at. So I got to go to Arkansas to see him and spend a week with him. And I think we went to Illinois while he was there, just places that he went so I could go visit him because we were really close. So ever since I got a little taste of the Air Force life, I'd always wanted to join the military. Always wanted to go in. When I graduated high school, me and a friend were going to go in the Air Force together.
Okay.
Well, we started talking one day, and she's like, well, let's just take 6 months off, and let's just live life a little bit before we're told what to do again. And I knew it was a bad idea. But we did it anyways. Well, I met my kids' dad, and we were in a relationship. One thing happened. Next thing I know, I'm pregnant with my son, which I love my kids to death. And so I waited a while. I was actually 26 when I decided to go in the military. It was very hard. I mean, leaving my kids at that age to go off and do my own thing, but I did it and I made it through.
Ah, that is awesome. Wow. So you did basic training. So when you went into basic training, a female in the Army, you had to go through a lot of things, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So how many were in your group?
We had, with a company of over 100, I think we had 18 females. So we were pretty much outnumbered big time.
So how were you treated?
We were treated just like the men were. We were yelled at, we were screamed at, we were pushed beyond breaking points, and it was hard. I mean, especially being a female, but just being a person in general, it was just really hard. It was a very hard experience. But I think I was the second oldest female there. So I was 26 at the time, and I think that we had one other female that was 31. So we were the oldest ones there. I actually got called grandma at basic training because I was
26.
So old. Right, yeah. But it was tough. But the other females that were there with me, some of us become close and some of us didn't. I mean, just like anywhere.
Right.
You become close with some people and not others.
You either connect with them or you don't.
Yeah.
So you've done a tour overseas, one tour?
Yes, one tour.
And so where did you go and how long was that?
August of 2009, I went to Baghdad, Iraq. And we didn't come home until August of 2010. So we were in country 11 months. And with training and everything, demobilization training, we were gone for 12 months total.
So how old were your kids at the time?
That was 2009, so my kids were 8 and 5 at the time. So they were still really little.
Oh,
Very
wow.
little.
So you sent me some pictures that I thought were really neat. So do you want to explain a little bit about this one?
Okay. So this was me and some of the females that were in my unit in Iraq. We're military police, so we went over to do MP patrols. And while we were over in Iraq, we had the opportunity to go check out some of the palaces that Saddam had over there. When we went into Iraq, during shock and awe, the initial invasion, we kind of took over some of his palaces, and that's where like the State House, the State Department set up shop, the FBI, CIA, places like that. So that was one of the palaces, and that chair it was Saddam's chair that he used for his meetings and everything like that. So that's like one of the big staples that everyone that goes to Iraq tries to get done, is that picture in that chair.
So were there just, at the time, just 5 of you in that group, or was...
That was, no, we had other females with us, but that was the day shift MPs at the time.
Okay.
So we had a day shift and a night shift MPs.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how was that feeling sitting there?
Like, it was just knowing you're part of history.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just amazing just to know that you got to be a part of history and be part of something bigger than yourself.
Golly. All right, so you're in Afghanistan here?
No, still Iraq.
Oh, Iraq.
Yeah, Iraq. That was actually me with some Iraqi police officers. So they actually were set up. That was a roadblock. So they were checking traffic, checking vehicles and stuff like that. So I actually got to go meet them and train with them and got to get my picture taken with them. And
so did they treat you guys good?
Yeah, they were nice. They were actually, some of the good guys and very appreciative of what we were doing overseas.
Wow. So is that you?
That's me.
You look so young.
Are you trying to say I'm old now? Is that what you're saying?
No. So tell us about this one.
That was when I first got into country. One of the first things we did was we had to learn the base. So you had to learn every spot on the base. And those were actually tanks from when, I think it was Germany, had invaded Iraq. I'm not sure exactly when it was, but they were actual German tanks. And they were, blown up and disabled, and they're still there today. Well, they were when I was there. I don't know what happened to them after I left, but...
Wow.
Again, that's part of history. You get to actually be part of history, which I think is amazing.
Oh, yeah. So was there a language barrier?
There was. Before we deployed, we had a little bit of a language lesson, but we mainly relied on our interpreters to relay the messages that we were trying to relay.
So they were there with you most of the time?
They were there with us 24/7. So we always had an interpreter with us.
So what was living there like? I mean, did you you worked so many hours, and then what would you do on your off time?
On your off time, there's not a whole lot to do. So one of the major things is working out, going to the gym, doing everything that you can, and just sleeping. Sleeping, movies, and working out is all we did on our downtime. I mean, we hung out, we played euchre, stuff like that, but it wasn't very often you had downtime, but when you did, you just made the most of it.
So did you meet people there that you got to be kind of like friends with?
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah.
Have you kept in contact with them?
Well, and that's the great thing about Facebook,
Yeah.
Our generation has social media at our fingertips. I was able to keep in contact with family, friends, the people that I met from basic training, long time ago. I still was able to stay in contact with them and talk to them. And even now, I've been in the military for 13 years now. This month was my 13th year. And I was in California in January for advanced leadership course for my next promotion. And one of the girls that I went to basic with, she actually lives in California. So I was able to visit with her while I was out there. So it's been 13 years, and we just picked up like it was yesterday.
Wow.
So yeah, I've been able to meet a lot of different people and keep those friendships.
Right. So you, keeping your kids, you kept your kids while you were gone, and did you get to stay in contact with them?
Yes.
How does that work?
Their dad got to keep them when I was in Iraq. My best friend is his cousin, and that's my kids' cousin.
Okay.
and her mom and dad are my kids' aunt and uncle. So we have a great support system. Without Joe and Cheryl Payton and Renee and Austin Nesbitt and Courtney Pitcher, I couldn't have done it. Renee has made sure that my kids have had birthday parties when I've been gone. She's made sure that, my kids have had Christmas, just everything that a normal kid would go through. She made sure my kids had that while I was gone.
So mentally, while you were over there, that had to be, just a great feeling. You knew that they were okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. If I had anyone to fill in for me for being a mom when I couldn't, it had been Renee.
Yeah, she's awesome.
She's just done an amazing job, and she treats my kids like her own, and my kids have had a great support system because of it.
So let's talk about this picture. So this is a year later?
Yeah, that was when I got back from Iraq, and
I can't imagine the emotion at this point.
It was a long, stressful trip back. We had to go to Fort Dix, New Jersey to do our demobilization training, and then we all flew home on separate planes. So, like, a handful of us got to go home on this plane, a handful got to go home on this plane. And Renee had actually brought my kids to the airport, and they both had roses behind their backs waiting on me, So when I came out, they popped the roses out, and I hadn't seen my kids that was August, and I hadn't seen my kids since February because I got to come home for 2 weeks. This was the first time I got to see them, and I remember getting off the plane, and I was running through the terminal, just running, and one of my friends was like, "Wait for me." I was like, "No, I got to go see my kids." And I dropped my bags and just ran up to them, and that was the best feeling in the world. To have my kids in my arms again.
I teared up when I saw this picture.
Yeah, it's hard not to.
That's crazy. So now, what are you doing now military-wise? You're getting ready to go overseas?
I should be going overseas sometime this year. I'm not sure when yet, but we should be going again. I'm still military police, so I still do my 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks out of the year, but I was in California for training in January, and then I got to go to Missouri for 2 months for training. And I just finished up my annual training, so my 2 weeks down at Camp Atterbury. So this year I've been all over the place.
Wow.
All over the place. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So knowing that you're going to go overseas, are you nervous, scared?
No.
You're ready to go.
I'm very comfortable with my training, and the people that I'm going over with, I have a lot of great people that and that's in my unit that I'll be with, and my kids, I know they're in good hands. My oldest, he himself is in the Army now, and he's stationed in Hawaii. So he gets it. He knows what Mom does now. He's actually living that life himself, which I couldn't be prouder.
And I think I just read he's been in the service a year.
Yep, this month, actually a year ago today. Like, I had to take my kid to the airport, and I had to watch him, spread his wings and fly and do his own thing.
And you knew what he was about to.
I knew exactly what he was about to embark on, and the nightmare that he was going to live for the short period of time that he was going to at basic training. And I just, I told my kid, I was like, it's a mind game. It's to break you down so they can build you back up. He's doing good. I think he misses home a little bit, but I think he's proud of what he's doing.
So he went into the service right after
high school. Yeah. Actually, he enlisted when he was still a junior.
Wow, really?
Yes. He had to have my permission. I had to sign off on it. But yeah, he enlisted when he was 17. He couldn't go off to basic until he was 18. So he spent a year, just waiting to go. But he's been in officially for a year now.
So I think one of these pictures, is this when he was getting ready?
That's after he graduated basic and AIT.
Okay.
And he got to come home for a little bit before he got sent over to Hawaii. So I thought, what better way than to have family pictures done of me and him in uniform. And then my youngest also, he's wanting to go to West Point, which is the Army college.
Wow.
So he wants to follow in our footsteps and continue on with that path. And He's working very hard right now to make sure that that happens with grades and everything that he's got to do to get into West Point,
Yeah,
because it's
tough to
very
get into.
it's very tough to get into West Point.
Wow.
So
Oh, that's an awesome picture. So, you want to tell us about what this is about?
yes, I had the honor of being part of the Student Veterans Organization at IU East while I was attending college there. It's an organization that, just helps veterans, when they come home, when they transition from military life to school life again. And we were raising money to help with the Veterans Memorial Park in Richmond, Indiana. It actually sits just west of the jail over in Richmond. So it's
okay.
right down in the valley, right next to the river. So if you turn left right by the jail, there's another left, and it's right down there. So they have stones for like every war. They have a memorial stone for like the Purple Heart, for women veterans, and for just pretty much anything that deals with the military, war, and stuff like that, and veterans. They actually have tanks down there, and I think last year they had raised enough money to get a Huey to put up on a big, huge pedestal down there.
Wow.
So we had helped raise money for the Iraq and the Afghanistan War Memorial. And while we were there, the president of the Student Veterans Organization had asked me for a picture of me in uniform. I didn't think nothing of it, gave it to him. Well, he had it put on the stone. I was one of them that got to be put on the stone. And this picture is the day that we dedicated the Iraq and Afghanistan Memorial to the Veterans Park. So I got to present the stones to the veterans of
wow.
Wayne County.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely been an honor to even be considered for something like that.
Sure. Wow, that is neat. So let's go to this. This is just recently?
Yep, that was in January. That was me out at California. I was out there for training. They have on the side of a mountain, they have a cross that's put up. That a lot of soldiers that go out there, they hike up to this cross so they can take pictures and everything like that. And me and a fellow soldier had hiked up to it. We were the only two out of our class to do it. And it is like I think it was a 3-hour hike up and down. And we were the only two to do it.
Wow. So what were you doing over there? Training to get ready to go?
It was just training for my next promotion because I'm a staff sergeant right now.
Okay.
So my next promotion is going to be to sergeant first class. So in order to get promoted, you have to go through different schools. Like to be a sergeant, I had to go through warrior leadership course. Then after that, you have to go through advanced leadership course. So it's just training you how to be a leader and to do the things that you need to do to lead your squad or your soldiers.
Wow. Very interesting. So exactly, so when you get over this next tour, you will, what will your job be
When I get back?
when you get over there?
Oh, when I get over there? I will actually be a military police investigator.
You'll be an investigator.
Yeah, I'll be the lead investigator. So if there's any crimes that are committed, suicides, any deaths, I'll be the first one called to investigate the situation.
So is that going to be pretty busy?
Oh, yeah, it'll be pretty busy, especially with how everything's winding down. We've signed the peace treaty and stuff like that. You have a lot of people that aren't going to know what to do with themselves because of, that's been their life for so long. And when people get bored and they get scared, they do stupid things. So
That's going to be pretty emotional, I would think.
yeah, it will be for some people.
But you're tough.
I'm tough, yeah.
You can handle it.
Yeah, I get asked the question a lot, especially like when I went to Iraq, are you afraid to go? And it's not that I'm afraid to go. I'm trained. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to do my job and do my duty. But the only thing that it doesn't scare me but worries me is just if something happened to me leaving my kids without a mom. That'd be the only thing. But like I said, they have a very good support system, and if anything ever did happen to me, I know they're in good hands. So
Right. Aw, you're really special. That's tough to juggle that.
yeah, it's all about what you make it.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you do it for the wrong reasons, then you're gonna have a hard time with it. But if you do it for the right reasons, I mean, it could be a very rewarding career. I've got to meet a lot of different people, made all kinds of friends. I've got to go different places. I mean, I've been to Kuwait, I've been to Iraq. I got to go to Poland for a month and train with the Polish Army. I've been all over the United States, you know. I got to experience a lot of different things that most people wouldn't get to experience.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
So, I mean, apparently you're glad that you joined the service.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've been in 13 years, and I have 7 more to go before I can retire. So I've made it a career. It's not just, you know, just a job or anything like that.
And so do you know, being in, like, like this time you're going to go over again, so you're going to be gone probably a year.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how many more times you'll go, or are you just called upon
Just
as
whenever I'm
needed?
called upon, yeah. Just whenever it's like, hey, you know, we're going. We don't ever get told in advance.
And if things are crazy over there, you could have to stay longer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It just depends on how
Just
the
depends
times
on, yeah,
are at that point in time.
the situation and the mission, you know.
And mentally, you're ready to do this
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
and excited.
Yeah. I mean, it's my duty. It's my job. You know, there's some soldiers that have, especially with the Iraq and Afghanistan war, you know, especially Afghanistan. We've been going for 18 years now, you know. It's a long time. And you have some people have done, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tours even. You know, you have a lot of veterans who have been overseas more than their share. So it's good to get more than my share in, you know.
Wow.
It's an honor, actually.
Yeah.
It's not just a job, it's an honor.
You're really, I mean, this is neat. So can you share something funny that has happened to you over when you were overseas on your first
Something
tour?
funny, yes. Okay, so when we first got into Iraq, you know, they always tell you that you're going to be mortared. The base is going to be mortared. So they shoot mortars out and they just land wherever. You don't know exactly what to expect, even being told it. So I think it was the second night I was in country. I went to take a shower because it was 130 degrees during the day. You're sweating, you got sand all over you, you're filthy. So I went to take a shower, and I was in the shower and I heard a noise. And I'm like, what is that? You know, I have no clue what that is. So I throw a t-shirt and shorts on real quick, and I open the door and I'm like, what's going on? They're like, we're being mortared. Go to the bunker. So here I am in flip-flops, and I take off running, and I'm like, seriously? Really? I just wanted a hot shower. And that was my first time experiencing it. So I was like, oh. And everybody's laughing at me because I'm soaking wet, you know, here in shorts and t-shirt and flip-flops running through to get to a bunker. So it was pretty interesting.
That's hysterical.
I get a good laugh out of it now.
Yeah. But
Now I
then
do.
you're probably,
Yeah.
I would have wanted to turn and go back home.
Yeah, it's definitely a wake-up call, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is real. I'm really doing this now. So
Was there any time that was like really scary to you that something happened?
yeah, I remember we just got off patrol one day, and it was their election day. So Iraq had their first elections, and there was bombs going off everywhere because they were trying to deter people from going to the polls to vote. So, I mean, just like all day long, it was boom, boom, boom. Your walls were rattling in your room, and you can feel the ground moving because there were so many bombs going off. Like that's the day that I went, and I was like, holy cow, you know, like this is real life here. It was definitely an experience.
I can't imagine. I mean, I can't imagine what you thought at that point.
You know, looking back at it now, I was just like, you know, well, it's just another day. Just do our job and
Another
get
day
home.
at work.
Exactly.
Wow, that is nuts. So, what does the future hold for you?
Well,
As far as staying in the service, you said you're going to stay in.
I still have 7 years to go before I'm eligible for retirement. My youngest son, like I said, he's a junior. He wants to go to West Point. So both my kids are going to be out of the house. And honestly, as long as things are, going like they are now, I plan on staying in past 20. I'll probably stay in until they kick me out, really. Because I love it. I mean, I love what we do, and I love the opportunities that I've been given, and I love my country. I mean, what better way to do something for your
That-
country than serve your country?
So honorable. I mean, that's so honorable. So, as you're aging, are you noticing a difference? I mean, can you keep up with things? And
Well,
are they still treating you good?
I'm still the
feeling-
oldest in the unit.
You are the
Like
oldest?
now, I'm the oldest female. I'm 39, so a lot of the soldiers that I train with are in their early 20s, early 30s. So I'm still older compared to them. But, I've taken it upon myself. Like, I got to the point where I was doing enough to get by on my PT test. So my 2-mile run, my push-ups, my sit-ups, well, my body's gotten a little older and run down because 13 years in the military will do that to you. So I actually had to take it upon myself to get back in the gym and start meeting with the trainer and getting back in shape again because I wasn't able to, keep up with them. And I'm like, I'm not about to go out like this. So I actually went to HealthWorks and got a membership and started meeting with the trainer up there, Crystal, who, thanks, Crystal.
She's tough.
Yes, she's very tough. But she's gotten me to the point where I need to be now to be physically fit and be able to keep up with the younger soldiers. And
So you can run that mile and...
I can run the 2 miles now in a lot better time than what I could have.
There you go.
And it's just, I can go out and play volleyball with the soldiers and play football with the soldiers and stuff like that, everything that they're doing now, and I can keep up with them. So,
That is awesome.
and plus, if I need to run in a firefight, I can run now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Well, so, I mean, what would you tell people about joining the service? I mean, this is something that we want to do.
Well, the only thing that I can say is, do it for the right reasons. We have a lot of educational benefits. The money is not too bad. The experiences aren't too bad. But if you do it for the wrong reasons, you're going to hate your life doing it. If you just do it because, I'm bored, I just want something to do, you're not going to like it. You're not going to enjoy it. But if you do it for the right reasons, like you want to serve your country, you want to be part of something bigger than yourself, there are so many opportunities out there. I mean, there's so many jobs in the military and so many opportunities. Just telling you some of my experiences, I mean, I've got to go different places. I've been able to meet, different people.
Something you never would have experienced
Right, yeah.
because of this.
I was able to, meet John Cena and a lot of the musicians that come over and play concerts and stuff like that. And I got to take my kids to meet John Cena and the wrestlers. And I mean, we've got to do some fun stuff. So it works out.
Well, you can tell that you are very dedicated.
Oh, yeah.
You're very, I mean...
It's my passion.
It is.
Yeah,
You
it's
can
not my
tell,
it's not my job. It's my passion.
Just talking to you, I can just feel that.
Yeah.
So you're taking care of the Fayette County Veteran Services,
Yes. Yep.
which that's so awesome because that's really needed. And how often are you doing that?
I do my outreach on Wednesdays, so that's when I go out and meet with a lot of different people to try to get veterans that need assistance in to see me. And Thursdays and Fridays, I'm in the Connersville office. I help file for disability, health insurance, widows benefits, survivors benefits, and just pretty much anything that you can think of. I help these veterans file for, and it's very rewarding.
Yeah.
Being able to help, the generations before me to get what they deserve.
Right. Wow.
Yep.
Well, this is a great interview. I mean, I'm just in awe about talking with you. I mean, the things that you've done and just your passion about this.
Yeah.
And I just want to thank you for your service and your sacrifice.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for your friendship. And I'm just really glad to have you on today.
Well, thank you for having me. It's been an honor to be here.
Yep, that's awesome.
I appreciate it very much.
Well, be sure to tune in next month when we have another Fayette County veteran on our show, Hometown Salutes. So I'll see you then.